perceptions are really bad on your party. You're months away from an election campaign. You're losing already. Have you heard Jean Damour giving so many interviews? Like he's an important figure. So why don't you want Mr. Rodriguez to be suspended at least during the UPAC's investigation?
I didn't follow all of my colleagues that came in and what they said, but there's a lot of important figures who just spoke in front of these microphones and spoke about their willingness to stand next to Pablo Rodriguez, to stand next to him in the next campaign. I'm one of those people who believe in his integrity and who's looking forward to campaign next to him.
So that's Liberal MNA Andre Fortin, of course. He, along with others, like Marc Tanguay, for example, still there, standing by him. The question is, are they standing by someone as the ship is slowly sinking, and for how long will that continue? James Mennie of the Montreal Gazette is on the line. Jim, there doesn't seem the day that doesn't or does go by where we're not talking about Pablo Rodriguez this morning for people who missed it, by
crazy.
the way.
And first of all, welcome back. I'm glad to hear your voice again. You sound like you're playing hurt, but my hat's off to you. Listen, one day you're gone. It was almost like you didn't want to jinx it because there was nothing about the Quebec Liberal Party. And then the next day, UPAC launched a criminal investigation, criminal with a C. Listen, they can talk all they want. The caucus, the Quebec Liberal Party caucus, is a grand total of 18 people. We are seeing a growing number of former ministers, former MNAs, but people who are also movers and shakers in the party. And there's also, what about the rank and file? What about, the numbers are trying to get up, but I'll be generous and say, what about the thousands of card-carrying Liberal members who are saying we don't have a hope in hell winning the next election of the current circumstances? Mr. Rodriguez, I guess this is what he figures is expected of him, but the fact of the matter is I think it's only a matter of time till someone within the party convenes a general council, a general convention, and this is not new. This has been kicking around now for the last couple of weeks, and hold a confidence vote on the leadership of Pablo Rodriguez, because listen, this can't go on, and it's not getting better. And the idea, he's there and he keeps playing the same cassette, Aaron. But every single day things get worse. Every single day more voices are added from within the party, with names attached, not anonymous sources that he was complaining about 2 weeks ago in Journal of Montreal articles. These are people active, very concerned with the future of the party, who are saying, you got to go. You absolutely have to go. And what happens now? Where is this going to be a contest of wills? Is there perhaps the seed that's been planted in the back of Mr. Rodriguez's mind that, just ride it out, and by the holidays, no one will have, everyone will have forgotten about this. And the thing is, as I told you, when this whole story broke, the idea that when Pablo Rodriguez was challenging the Journal Now, show us, tell us what you got, give us the names, and we'll deal with it. I said then, and I've been saying ever since, the fact is, newsrooms, when you have an investigative, blockbuster, you always have more than one. Usually you have a whole bunch. We're seeing every single day now that, and as the headlines gain, how can I put it, critical mass, the way it works is, the physics of that journalistic dynamic is, more people come forth to tell you things. And so this is going to be a snowball, and the question is, just how big does it have to be before Pablo Rodriguez does what a lot of people think he should do and step out of the way?
See, here's what I'm thinking, Jim, and maybe I'm living a bit of a fairy tale here, right? You talked about they would get together, they convene a leader or a convention, and then it would be he would have to leave. And I think to myself, you're the leader of the party, right? At this point, wouldn't it be amazing if you, on your own, right? Even if you've had these backroom meetings, etc., but you're the one who came out and said, you know what, for the better of this party, I myself have decided that I am going to walk away. I have become a distraction to the party, and that means that, you know what, instead of the party, the focus is on me, and that's not to the better of the party, and I'm going to leave.
That train left the station a long time ago, Aaron. And you know what? You know what train followed it? And this is the one that really gets me, because if you're, he's really coming across, and I presume he's completely sincere. He's really coming across as saying, you know what, I'm a fighter. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to beat it. Why hasn't Pablo Rodriguez said, listen, let's instead of leaving it to the headlines, instead of leaving it to the grand maire, to the belle maire, former members, former MNAs, and this and that, I am going to convene a meeting of the party, and we're going to have a confidence vote in my leadership. Why not do that? Why not rip off the Band-Aid that way? Because this way, Aaron, at least you can go with, as far as I'm concerned, a certain amount of panache. But if it turns out that it has to be somebody else who's got to do it, I'm sorry, but the odium of the entire exercise is going to stick to this party long after they've changed leaders. And as it is, Aaron, you and I, we say, oh my God, when is the next election? It's coming up now. We're it's going to be in October. The year is almost over. The situation in the National Assembly right now is downright chaotic. We need someone who knows what they're doing, and guess what? We need someone who's not being distracted every other day because of absolutely uncomfortable questions about their leadership campaign. And let's face it, this is what this is about. This ain't about Mauro Aruzki getting fired. Okay, this is this goes to that. And as I say, you're innocent until proven guilty. I give Mr. Rodriguez every benefit of the doubt, but the fact is, and even if it seems unfair, well, you know what? Life's not fair, and politics is even less fair. And the question is, which is more important right now, your political future or that of the Liberal Party of Quebec?
Yeah.
Very simple.
That's exactly it, right? What does it come down to? And as a leader, being able to realize that and do what you have to do, isn't that the mark of a leader? Absolutely.
And you also have to realize, I mean, don't get me wrong, you're talking to a guy who's always played the cards that he's been dealt, but the fact of the matter is you can only play your hand so far. So you either go all in, and as I say, call for a leadership, call for a confidence vote, or you basically say, you know what, no matter what I do, this is not going to change. No matter what I say, this is just going to get worse. Time for me to go. Simple as that. And people will probably have a fonder memory of Pablo Rodriguez, even if it proves that you and I are having a conversation about a completely erroneous conclusion, a completely unfair, stacked situation against Pablo Rodriguez. The fact is, what he's doing right now is, as far as I'm concerned, is stacking the deck even further against him. And it's like I say, there's no way at this point, Aaron, that this is going to end well.
You know, Jim, we always talk about, you bring up the fact that a year is a long time in politics, and I realize it's actually less than a year now to a provincial election. But I wonder to myself, at some point, right, who could have seen this coming, right? Things are moving along, and all of a sudden we hadn't heard, the running gag in the spring and summer was, where's Pablo? Right. Yeah. And now it's he's in the news every day for all the wrong reasons. Yeah. But I can't help but wonder who could have seen this coming. And if not, given that the CAQ continues to dig themselves deeper and deeper into a hole, we might have had a really, really interesting election come October. But the way this is shaping up now, the Liberals are going to be just basically an afterthought. Although, again, it's still 10 months away.
Well, yeah, that's true. But on the other hand, you got to ask yourself, I mean, you and I and most people who are talking about this in media, we're on the outside looking in. But you have to ask yourself, even within the caucus, within the party itself, within the party infrastructure, how long has it been since people were scratching their heads over the leadership campaign, the result of the campaign, and these rumors, which even the party president at one point, I think 2 weeks ago, said, yeah, well, I heard talk about this last spring. Mm-hmm. But, I didn't, So with all of that, and as I say, in the end, this is an internal matter. The Liberal Party of Quebec is a political party. It's a power unto itself. But I don't think that its leader has the kind of powers to say, no, I'll be telling you when I'm going to leave. I don't think that's I don't have it in front of me, but I don't think that's in the party's charter, Aaron. I don't think any political party would have a situation where somebody comes in and, despite all the factors saying, really would be better if you left, you turn around and say, no, I'm going to hang here, and there's not a thing you can do about it. I mean, we'll see. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I think you and I, between now and the new year, may be talking about a different political landscape in Quebec.
Jim, I don't let you go without talking about the news out of Quebec City this morning. You had Francois Legault going on about win, gagnant, a deal with the doctors, which is now only a deal until it's voted on. We're not going to officially know for tomorrow. What did you think?
Well, I thought it was interesting, given the big fat headline at MontrealGazette.com, even as you and I speak, 11 medical specialists withdraw from the MUHC over Bill 2. Apparently, these were internationally recruited medical specialists who were supposed to begin work at the MUHC at the Glen in the summer of 2026. They are no longer going to be doing that because, according to the head of the physician services, the uncertainty created by Bill 2 made them rethink the decision to come to Quebec. So listen, it'll be interesting to see if the GPs land a deal with Mr. Legault. It'll be interesting to see what that deal is as well, Aaron, because I got to tell you, if this turns into something that is not at all what they ran through with using closure like they do every other one of their cocktail napkin laws, I think we got an even bigger problem on our hands. And I'm sure some of the voices you and I hear every day in those scrums from Quebec City will be asking Christian Dubé, gee, Mr. Dubé, what do you think about that?
It would be worth noting, by the way, that Aaron Derfel, of course, the Gazette's health reporter, was on today with Elias, right? And can we play the beginning of that, Brian? So I thought this, Aaron, if nothing else, he cuts to the chase, right? He'll tell you his opinion based on the fact that he knows how these things work. He was asked for his reaction. He has a really interesting description. Listen to this.
First of all, it's a tentative deal. They're suspending the application of Loi 2 until February 28th. And the FMOQ is going to have to, the leadership has to get the feedback of the members. I think the members are pretty angry. But that does not resolve the fact that there's another doctors' federation, which is the Federation of Medical Specialists. They don't have a deal, and they're not in talks with the government. So obviously the government is trying to reach some type of a breakthrough. If they can get the family doctors on side, then they can move on to the Federation of Specialists, medical specialists. So there's obviously some progress, but it's not. It's just a reprieve. There's nothing really fully settled at this stage.
That's the word, right? It's just a reprieve. That's exactly what it is for now.
A reprieve, and he's quite right when he mentions the fact that there are no talks and no deals with the specialists. And as I just mentioned, Aaron, and these are the ones we know about, there are 11 fewer specialists now than there would have been.
Day one. All right, James Mennie. Jim, thank you. Appreciate it.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
or the free iHeartRadio app.